Some binders. So if we could pass the take one each. Let's just take one each. Okay. Anyone have any business ventures they want to advertise? Anyone want? Please, man. Get your 1 minute.
So I know I mentioned it to you guys last week. Marco and I have the boot camp coming up in just a few weeks. So the point of this and the idea behind this is something that I've had in mind for a long time. So many people get gung-ho about working out. A lot of people are familiar with stuff like CrossFit and these high-intensity interval training programs. These are great workout programs. The problem is not everybody is fit. Sometimes we're gung-ho and we're ready to do it, but you go in there and you haven't done these things in ages, and you just go and jump hard, run, move, whatever. You might tear something, hurt something, or just get so sore you don't want to come back. So we are going to offer that high-intensity interval training, but we're going to start it at a slower pace. We're going to offer modifications. We are going to offer Tai Chi cool downs, meditation, and we're going to have a Saturday separate 1-hour group health coaching course, which is going to teach the basics of healthy living, what is toxicity, how does it affect you, how do you detox, how do you replace your system, how do you meal plan. All these little things that health coaching does in a one-on-one setting, we're going to do this in a group coaching setting. So if anyone's interested, it's for all ages. If you can move, if you can stand up and walk a little bit, you can probably make this. Anyways, like I said, the nice thing about this, no matter where your fitness level is, with my background, I will be able to modify just about everything so that you can move up and take it as high, the highest level that you want. How much time? The other, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Becky, you want to say something?
Sure. Hello, Becky Smith, Beneficial Light Therapy. As Gary mentioned in the email, if you all got that, I'm going to be lighting people up this evening. Linda, do you want to tell them how it felt just a few minutes ago?
It felt fantastic. I mean, from the first minute, I could feel how much deeper I was breathing. It was just very relaxing, and I tried to do some meditation, and it, just like the aromatherapy last week, just like the aromatherapy that we all experienced last week, with it just instantly kind of brought me to that.
I have it on a relaxing setting for everybody because it's the evening time, and I didn't really probably get to tell you this. This is a Class 2 medical device that is approved by, actually it's cleared by the FDA. Drugs are approved, but devices are cleared. So don't know if that interests you guys, that it's not easy to get an FDA clearance. It's very, very difficult. And the efficacy has to be so high. So because it is so good at reducing pain and increasing circulation, it is an FDA cleared device. So I can put you on for 10 minutes or so, depending on what's going on with you. I'll talk to you real quietly back there. I also shared with Gary, I was so excited when I got home last week because I have iHeart Radio on my phone. Does anybody have that to build your own stations? It's an app for, I guess, any iPhone or Android phone, whichever. But if you there's other ones, but iHeart has sounds of nature on it. And oh my gosh, they have so many rain ones, rainforest, ocean, for sleep, for alertness. And I've just been, and some of them are 30 some odd minutes long. I don't have that long to meditate. But to be able to be on the lights and to meditate, I can't wait for Ruthie's essential oil to put that in a room once I get done with that. But anyway, I invite you guys. Sherry's going to go next after this one, and anybody who wants to get on, just come on back.
Just come on back.
We need like the after me too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes, of course. Okay, so I brought this book in. It's by Masaru Emoto, and it's got pictures that shows exactly what Gary was talking about with the crystals. When they froze the little drop of water, and they were able to take the pictures, and it's got different music. And it also has the CDs with the music. So I'm going to pass it around and enjoy it. It's pretty amazing.
Okay. Anyone else? Business ideas? Yes.
Well, this isn't health related, but My wife and I have a freelance web design business, and we do graphics, logos, websites, mostly WordPress websites, but we can also do non-WordPress websites. We specialize in small businesses. We've done stuff for doctors, writers, musicians, all kinds of health coaches as well. And I'm a full-time web designer at the University of Texas at Dallas, so that's what I do full-time, and Ruthie and I do it together as well. And I'll pass these around as well.
Very good. Anyone else? One more. How about one person with gratitude on their mind? Anyone wants to share something that happened during the week? Anyone at all? One person. Sure.
I am grateful that we had the opportunity to travel to Houston and visit one of our kids and his wife, and they're expecting a baby. And my mom came with us on the trip, and we were able to go there and come back safely and get to see our future grandchild.
Very good. Very good. Okay.
One more thing on gratitude, the thank you notes are in the back. One more thing related to gratitude, the thank you notes are on the back table.
Very good.
And be sure you get envelopes, take as many as you want.
I would encourage you to take at least 2 each. Okay? Think about 2 people this week that could use your help and your gratitude. At least 2. Please. And this is for you, and this is coming from you. Okay? So, that's good. Let's get started then on tonight. I went to UT Southwestern Medical Center today, and I went there to get my eyes examined. So you probably think I should have had my head examined, but I chose my eyes. So there's a big complex, as you know, and they're doing all this new building. I'm parking way out there, way out. So now I'm coming to brand new areas I've never been to before. I don't know where this department is. So I'm standing across the street, and across the street is the campus, and I'm asking God, I said, okay, look, I want to get there quickly. I want you to tell me, where do I need to go to get there quickly? So I take a moment, I'm looking over the complex, close my eyes, and the voice comes and says, open your eyes and look there. So it takes me right there to one building. I go across the street, go into the building, go through the doors, because I don't know what to expect, it's a huge building, and guess what I find? I find the Holy Grail, the information center for the complex. Right there, right there. So there are plenty of people in front of me, I'm just standing there in line, and I'm listening to the man behind the counter, because the man behind the counter, he's miraculous. And they're asking him, like, I need to get to this department, and he's going, oh, that's no problem at all, just go up the elevator, just go down the hall, go here, go there. He's telling them so nicely about where to go, and they're going there, and they're finding these places, and he just has this calmness about him. I'm looking at him, and I realize I'm looking at God. This is God. This is how God operates. Okay, so I'm standing there, and it's my turn. I say, I need the department of optometry. He goes, no problem at all. It's just around the corner. Go out the building, just down the street. Look, if I tried to find this on my own, which I would have done many years ago on my own, would have avoided that information center, I would have been probably 40 minutes late, been very upset, and I would have missed my appointment. This way I got there in 5 minutes. Okay. Now, this was a great, great parable, what I saw today. Great parable. I saw God. This was God I saw. Because this is the way God operates. God operates just that way. We have all of this information right in front of us. We have this consciousness that's surrounding us. All we have to do is ask. It is that simple. All of us, that's all we have to do is ask. And the information is given to us. Now I get it my way, you'll get it your way, but we have to ask. The point of this class is to be able to get to that point, no matter what the question is, to trust to that level, and if not higher, to get those answers. And we've said the only reason why we're not getting those answers is because we've chosen to live either in our brain or our heart. We've chosen to stay in that human side so that when we ask questions of how do I get to this department, our consciousness is saying to us, you can't do it on your own. Okay? That you're not going to be able to get the answers from God to help. So our brain or heart will get in the way and interfere with that. That's the problem. we've gone through the first 2 classes to give us a foundation as to how to move this out of the way, to get out of our own way here. What did we say? We said we'd give a Q statement, quality of life and living statement about what we want. It's our blueprint. We said that we would meditate. We said we'd create our Q water. We said we would create a foundation of which God can operate, and we can now release our doubts and our resistances and let ourselves work into this space of this God consciousness. Okay? Then last week we talked about therapies, and therapies are great. The lights are great, oils are great, therapies I'll introduce next week will be great too. But the therapies are just stuff to work on you. They're not going to help you if you haven't done your work. If you'll take the time to go through those 3 steps about the meditation and Q water and creating your Q statement, if you'll do that, and you start automatically going out to this center, this God center out here, then those therapies will lock that in and lock it in permanently so that you won't go back easily. And the next time you make another Q statement, it will lock it in further and further and further along the site, along that line. So the purpose of the therapy is just as an ancillary help. Tonight I want to go back to you. I want to emphasize this is a class about you. So tonight we're going to go back into muscle testing. I want you to get good with muscle testing, and thank goodness we have a very good person here, Dr. Mullen, who can help us. So we want to spend some time working on muscle testing. And then we'll go into meditation, but in a different way. I thought of some ideas different about meditation, and I'm curious to see how they'll work tonight. I have no experience with this. We'll test it on you. We'll see how this works. Hey, why not? We're going to have some fun. But I think you're going to enjoy this because if the idea works, you'll really begin to understand what it means to help people heal. You're not a healer. I'm not a healer. I'm a coach. You're a coach. But if what I'm saying is true, you'll be able to lay your hands on people in a very specific way and help them heal. And they will help you heal at the same time. I'll show you what I mean in a little bit. Dr. Mullen, would you take over, please?
Howdy, everybody. All right, we had a class on this earlier. We're going to do a review real quick, just so you guys remember what we did. The muscle testing is a way for you guys to communicate with the information and get the information you need. It is a little confusing in the beginning, so if I can have a volunteer. Anyone? Anyone other than my wife? All right, the basics of muscle testing again. We do not want to overwhelm the person. I am much larger than her. I could, if I wanted to, put her arm up here and ask any question. Does she owe me $1 million? Yes. Does she got a clean house? Maybe not. I can ask anything and force the answer, okay? So what I want you guys to do is take 2 fingers, or if you're really big, 1 finger, and use this until you get used to asking the question. It's very obvious when the answer is there most of the times. If it's kind of a maybe, you're going to get kind of the wishy-washiness. You'll start to recognize that as you practice this. But it does take practice. The class I took was 8 months long just on this kind of stuff, plus external stuff after postgraduate stuff. So I don't expect you guys to be perfect at this in 1 half-an-hour session. But if you practice this in your own life, it will help. So if we could, you want to test the lights? Oh, we got the lights over there. Do you have any extra pens? Let's do that later. We got a person on there. Did you bring water or vitamins or anything? All right, let's just work on names then. Well, the statement's something different. Let's just do real name, false name. Let's make up a name of somebody you don't particularly like. And I want you to think about that. Okay? Think about your own name right now. I need to do a baseline first. So, ready? All right, back to your name. Hold tight. Hold tight. Good. All right, see, she's steady. She's not making wobbly movements. All right, think of the name you don't like very much. Okay? If you watch my tricep, I'm not really pressing very hard. Back to your name. Okay? I did press harder then because I want to show you that this is not just me pressing, okay? Now we have true name, false name. Think of a name you don't hate quite as much as that particular name, because that was pretty good. Wobbly, but not quite as bad. Good. Now go back to the name you don't like a lot. All right. For those of you who brought your water, for those of you who brought any supplements, that's okay. If you haven't brought any of those things, you can do true name, false name. See what happens. If you find that the person you're dealing with is 180 degrees reverse, so they think their true name and you get Rana, okay, just like Rana. Then they think the false name, the name they don't like, as themselves, this is my name, wrong, and they're strong, then you need to bring them to me and I'll show you how to flip them back the right direction. Okay, so I'd like you to grab some partners, preferably somebody you don't encounter a whole lot, preferably new friends. Grab a partner, and if you have water or if you have vitamins with you, then we can test those in multiple ways. Does anybody have vitamin or waters that we can borrow right now? All right, let me show you how to do that real quick so it's not confusing. We did it last time and I want to remind you. All right. If we put tap water in that, I'm borrowing this Sandra time. It's probably good water, so if we have that, we can just put that, have her hold it there, and we can test her. Okay. Okay, see if it's good or bad, then we test her with the other one. Then we see which one makes her stronger, especially if you don't know what it is. You know, if one looks brown and cloudy and the other one's a nice, pure, clean one, this is a psychological problem. So it's better if you got one that you don't know which one is which and you can't tell just by looking at it, okay? And it's better if you don't know which one is which in the beginning. That'll help you gain confidence to understand that this makes a little more sense, even though it's a little wonky for people who are in their brain right now. Okay? Trust me, I've been in my brain for almost 50 years and it makes me a little crazy. All right, grab a partner. Any questions? All right, I'll be walking around, shuffle it around. And we could do this with all sorts of things. You know, we could do it with 20 pieces of paper. We could do it with, you know, whatever you want. The better you get at this, the more accurate you're going to be. So, how did you guys find this to be? Did anybody find somebody being 180 degrees reversed? Their true name was weak and false name was strong? Anybody got that today? Okay. Depending on who you are, that's going to happen with adrenal insufficiency, some other issues. It's not always going to happen. Questions on your results? Anyone? Questions on any of this at all? Okay. Practice, you can go home, and if you take 2 bottles, find the water you like and find some tap water from Cleveland, perhaps. Michigan. Maybe give them a little bit extra income, you know, tell them you send them $1 for a bottle of Flint lead water. And preferably inside something you can't easily see the difference of, 2 identical containers, and then have you and a friend test and see what kind of results you get. You get better at this as time goes by. The first few thousand times are a little bit wonky, and your subconscious is going to put all sorts of things in there. The more in spirit you can be, the more relaxed you can be, and the less you care about the result, the better things are going to be. If you start overthinking it, if you start overfeeling it, you're going to contaminate the results. And I know it's hard for some of you because, especially if it's something that's important to you, you're going to get all sorts of wonky answers because you're putting your own energy into this, and it's going to contaminate the whole process. If you do something that's not that important, which water to drink, you don't really have an emotional construct with that. Okay? We can also do it for things like light. Some people are very, very affected by the 60 hertz vibration of these types of lights. When we have lights at the end, we'll try and do a muscle test on someone to show the difference between the lights that are kind of meant for us to be in and the 60 hertz vibration that is not very healthy for anyone.
Do you think we could maybe use the sounds?
We could do the sounds again, or we could do the electromagnet again.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Why don't we try that?
Okay, let's try that. Let's try.
Are these lights LEDs or fluorescent?
These are fluorescent, I believe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are, because I can see them by the flicker. Not everybody can see the flicker. All right. Somebody I haven't picked on. Another volunteer.
She's going to go on the lights after her, so how about we test her before she goes on and then when
That's a
she
good
gets on?
plan. Very good plan. Thank you. All right. So she is standing under. I got to stay in the middle. I'm going to put her on this stuff. All right. Give me a strong arm. Actually, give me this one for a second. Just put it up there and hold that up to the light. Get you nice and irradiated with some delicious 60 hertz vibration of fluorescent light. I can see it. All right, that's probably good. Strong arm. She's still strong. She's actually used to this. All right. Okay, she's a little bit reversed, so let's work on that right now. All right, now when you reverse what's happening, you're getting an opposite reaction for multiple reasons. One, you can work under these lights. Two, you can have adrenal insufficiency. Three, you can have energetic problems. You know, you sit and cook things in a microwave. That'll blow your circuits out in an interesting way. I found that out the hard way during a midterm. So let's do this again. Give me a strong arm. And one of the ways we can get them to reverse is, there's other ways that are far more complex, but one of the easiest ways is simply to take their spine and rub it in the direction of, sorry, I'm getting dyslexic right now. Normal people, if I rub down, it's going to weaken them. If I rub them here, you saw last week when I did that, it made them weak. You can even do this in combat strength with them. But for her, if we go up, strong. So for her, going down, give us a positive or a strong arm, which is opposite of what most people are going to be. Now, this is not going to last for any length of time. It's probably going to be gone by the time I'm done with this sentence. But it will actually readjust her for the short period of time so that we can retest her. So I'm going to do it again, and then we're going to see about the light for a second. So stick your arm up there. There you go, girl. Okay, so the light is affecting her. You're going to get the next session? All right. Yeah, okay.
Why don't we just do this? Excuse me.
Okay. Yeah, we got her. We can use her. All right, give you a couple seconds to work.
I have a question about this. Is it important to reverse the polarity? Because if you know that, if you're testing her, one way is to be, the weak arm, and one way is the strong arm. Can't you just use that?
You're from a scientific point of view, no, you don't have to. But it's the problem is that she's actually in kind of a negative state when she's doing that, so we may get kind of false readings. If I flip her back for a split set for a little bit of time and test her, it's a little more accurate. But no, in a perfect scientific world, if we want to pop into the brain, no. If we have the idea and we understand which is which, then it doesn't really make a difference. As long as I know it's opposite, I can accommodate that. But in the higher level of this, if she is opposite, then we're dealing with kind of a pathological state, and I'd rather give her the energy to give me better answers. So it seems to work a little bit more accurately, at least in my experience, for that. Strong. Now she's back forward again, and I didn't do anything other than turn on the music. So that seems to be recalibrating you to the proper direction.
Another question. Okay, if you do your own muscle testing, okay, is there any other place that you can kind of reverse your polarity?
That's kind of a deep question, and we can answer that, but there are other ways to do it, yes. The spine is the big receiver, so when I'm taking it in one direction or another, that gives me a lot of control over the energetics. It can be done mentally, it can be done in other ways that are far too complex for this level of conversation. But yes, there are other ways to do it. It's just a little more complex than we have time for here tonight. I'll happily talk to you about that anytime.
Okay.
Except when we have a little more time. Yes.
You mentioned the first time you spoke about testing pets, because I have a almost 2-year-old, energetic, kind of high energy, hard to manage dog, and I would like to be able to talk to her.
Yes, you can do it through touching another human being. If somebody can't speak for themselves, like a dog or a child, you can actually do muscle testing and ask the questions if you are in physical contact with them. The way that works is far too complex for this conversation, but yes, you can do that with practice. It's just a little bit more difficult. If you want to bring her in, we can work on her. If you want to,
Oh, I would love to bring her.
Okay. Well, maybe I can bring my wife, and you can light my wife up, and we can test your pet. Other questions?
Or just ask Gary.
He can tell you. But teach a man a fish, give a man a fish versus.
Right, I want to be able to just communicate. I'm communicating with her pretty well, but, you know, my husband wants to get another friend for her. I mean, I'm sure there are people here that may have two because they think, well,
We
one.
have 6.
Oh, okay, well, there you go. And I don't want another one, you know, because she's all I can manage, but yet,
Well, her
you know,
management might also be because she is by herself, and dogs are pack animals, and if she's left alone, then she's gonna act out. We found that by getting our first dog a pet, that he calmed down quite a bit. And then we had many more after that, so. Right, dear?
you're not the one to ask about that, you know.
No, if anyone asks me whether they should get another dog, then the answer is always yes. We're actually 6 right now, we're babysitting one, so technically 5. So. Other questions?
Any other questions about muscle testing?
All right.
It is a skill that takes time. The more you practice, the better you'll get. I started with this about 30 years ago. It's taken me a year. So you've got to get started somewhere, and it works well. It works very well. Let me move on for just a moment here. I want you to take this little device, and I want you to put this on the middle of your smallest finger. Doesn't matter which hand. Doesn't matter which hand. Okay, you put it on the center of the smallest finger. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I want you to feel the pain. Keep going for about 5 seconds. About 5 seconds. Okay. Good. That's 5 seconds. Okay. I asked God about, could he give me an analogy of what it's like to live life on my own terms without consulting me? He said, Gary, take this, put this on your finger, and keep it on for at least an hour. At least an hour. If I want to get a minimum of 1 hour is the equivalent of what happens to me if I'm going to go off and do things on my own without going through these techniques and work from here. If I'm going to work from here, I might as well put this on my fingertip for an hour. I'd rather do that than to waste time going off and doing things that aren't going to work at all. Minimum of an hour, he said. Minimum of an hour. I want you to. What?
But he didn't say finger, did he?
Well, he did say finger. That's why I said I asked for this. You gave it to me. So, take this with you. This is yours to keep. It's going to change your life. You can lose money, but you can't lose time. And you will gain time if you begin working from here, using those techniques, and let that help you. It works very well. It's helped me a few times in the past. I hope it'll help you. I'm serious about this. A minimum of 1 hour. Keeping it on your finger.
What?
That's how much you can learn. Yeah. In other words, if you, the equivalent amount of effort that you're going to use would be an hour. Pain and suffering you're going to get by living life on your own terms, equivalent amount of that would be keeping that on your finger for an hour. For 1 hour. Minimum. Minimum. An hour. So, okay, let's go back to this for just a minute. We talk about brain and heart for a simple reason. You're in moral quicksand when you're working from brain and heart. You'll believe anything. Because you'll be looking at man, you'll be believing in man. I'm not going to believe in man. I'm not going to believe in man. I want to believe in God because if I can believe in God, I'm looking up, I'll know what to do, I'll be more than happy to help anyone I need to help. And they'll be happy to help me if I look up here. If I'm looking down at the same level where we are, I'm caught in the same mire that we're all in. Now, I'm bringing this to your attention because we're going into a presidential election. And the presidential election is not good. It's not good. We don't have much in the way of choices. We have one that's incredibly bad. And then we have one that we're not sure how bad he is. And all you have to do is ask God, and God will tell you just how bad this guy will really be. So let me give you just a scale here so you can get an idea of how you can answer your own questions. So I have what I consider to be the best president that I've known since I've been born. That's Ronald Reagan over here. Then I have the worst. Well, you can call him maybe Jimmy Carter, but Jimmy Carter was just incompetent, so I've got to go to Barack Obama. Okay, he's the worst. He's the worst because he's dangerous. He's dangerous not because he's incompetent, but because he has a philosophy. And that philosophy is to subjugate all of us. He wants to turn us into a socialistic country so that we are now obligated to the state, to the government. We lose our rights, we lose our independence. Hillary, let's look at Hillary. Okay, we've got We've got Ronald Reagan, we have Barack Obama. Now, if I go to Hillary and I ask God, what is she like? Well, she doesn't even fit into the scale. If I take this scale and go 1.5 times larger to this side, she's way over on that side. She's even worse than Obama because she wants to subjugate us. He didn't have the courage to do it. He couldn't get our guns, so he let it go. She will take rights. She'll take your rights to have supplements. She'll take your rights to disagree with the government. You'll be in jail. She'll take your rights. Okay? She's going to be a lot worse. Okay? A lot worse. If I go to Donald Trump, and I go through the same scale, he's no Ronald Reagan, I'll tell you that, even though they're portraying him as that. He's about 1/4 to 1/3 the distance over on this side towards Obama. A lot better than the choices that we have. I'm asking you to think carefully about this country and where it's going. If you're going to vote, I would ask you to vote based upon living here versus there. Because this means that government is king. Because I'm looking at mankind if I'm working from here. I'm going to want big government, I'm going to want government to take care of me if I'm working from here. If I'm working from there, I don't need government. All I need is myself and God. That's all I need. Because that will make me closer to all of you. Okay? We'll get closer together if we work with that principle. We won't need government to take care of us. I love this country. I'd love to be able to help people get to this point where they don't need the government, where you can get your own answers, live the life the way you need to, and we can help each other grow and help each other in all the other regards, and we don't need government to interfere. Because I would hate to be able to, I'd love to be able to take this around the country and train people so that they can do this for themselves. Get their own answers for themselves. This is the purpose of this class. Okay? And the only way they can do it is to go to here. Now, one of the primary ways we said to get there is meditation. Sandra, would you mind taking over from me? Take us to meditation. Okay.
Marco is not here. He's here in spirit, I'm sure. So let's remember all that he taught us. To me, he's just a master of doing breath work. So let's get real quiet, comfortable, whatever is comfortable for you. And we're going to remember that deep breathing, and deep breathe into our spirit center. And as we're doing this, you're expanding your sphere. The body expands with the in-breath, and so does your sphere. You're standing on the platform, and you are expanding your sphere. So take your time. We have all the time we need for this. In-breath, your body expands, your sphere expands. Out-breath, you become calm and relaxed. Your breath is enabling your sphere to go 1,000 times more. Keep it going, you're doing beautifully. Breath is life. Take it out 1,000,000 times. Further, further, further. With each breath being grateful to our Creator, the universe, whatever you happen to call that source. Take it out 1,000,000 times more. breath expands, out breath relaxes and calms. And if need be, 1,000,000 times more. A trillion times more. Calm and relaxed. Now with your breath, we are calling upon the hands of God to come into our physical body and take out any roots, any weeds, anything that has been standing in our way of having our Q statement become our reality. See God's hands coming into you and removing those resistances. And now let's take those weeds, those roots, those resistances, God has them, and let's move them out away from us in the same way. They're moving further. Each breath takes them further. Further. And further. Whatever it takes, use your breath to take those away. They're no longer inside of us. They're no longer holding us back from having our quality of life that is really us, really who we are. Knowing that these resistances are gone, we're still standing on the platform, we're still breathing. And in those empty spaces where our resistances resided and no longer reside there, we are being filled with a beautiful white liquid. It is our Q statement. It's filling all those empty spaces where the resistances were. Keep your breath going. You're doing beautiful. And there's so much light coming into you. There's such an abundance of pure white light that it overflows out of you. And we remember the 4 buckets. The buckets are being filled with this incredible, illuminating white light. The bucket of health is overflowing. The bucket of wealth is overflowing with white light. The bucket of relationships is overflowing. The bucket of time is overflowing. Just keep bringing this in. Letting this incredible white light illuminate you and fill those buckets. As you're breathing, you're also observing yourself, your reaction to this incredible bright light. See yourself smile. A broad, beautiful smile from inside out, an authentic smile. Now you're seeing yourself nod your head, yes. You're in total agreement. You're nodding your head, yes. See that happening. Your physical body is responding. Now open and close your mouth to say yes. 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 Using your incredible imagination, you see all of this happening. You feel all of this happening. You know it is happening for you. Tell yourself you're doing all the items from your Q state. All of those items are being fulfilled. Being bathed in this incredible white light of God. You are light. You are light. You are God's light. Remember and know that all of these things are manifested for you. You have the freedom to manifest everything on that Q statement. This is freedom for you. This is yours. And as you continue to breathe in and out, we close this, as always, with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to the source of that incredible light, which is us. You are light. And when you're ready, open your eyes, wiggle your toes, move your fingers, whatever you want to do. When you're ready, come back to this place.
Sandra, thank you. I want to do a little experiment. This is our base level right here, what you just did. So I'm going to do a little experiment to see if we can really put this on steroids and see what it would be like to do it with pairs. So that if you have a friend who's sick, or you can help someone, you can lay hands on them in a very specific way and see if this could help them. Because they're also going to help you at the same time. I want you to get a partner. Someone, again, you don't know. So let's partner up for just a moment. Take your sheets with you. Those sheets that we had with the diagrams on. These sheets. Okay? Find someone. I don't care who it is. Similar position, you sit down next to that person. I didn't hear what he was saying. Read me on. Yeah, just the top. Okay, let's get started on this. I don't care which one you decide to do this to. One of the two will go to the base of their ribs. And we'll just come up till they get to the point where they get to that V area. They can't go any higher. So you decide which person's going to do that. Okay, start at the base of the ribs, move your hand up to get to that indentation in the ribs, and you can't go any further. So Robin will be doing that. Okay, you decide which one of the two of you will do it. So just make a decision right now. All right. Now, the person who has their finger there, they're going to take their fingers like this. They won't be completely together. They'll be about halfway. And they'll lay it about on top of that area. Where they stop, they'll go about the middle of their hand. So right about the middle. They're going to drop their arms across their sides. Okay, while they're doing this. Okay. All right? Now, what we've just done is we've drawn across 3 very important meridians in the front. These are very important meridians, actually 4 or 5, because they go up into the heart and the pericardium. So we've got almost 5 meridians we've covered. These are very important meridians. So Robin's got hers right here. So I will then take the palm of my hand and I'll put it over her hand, just like this. Okay? Now, with my fist,
Sharon can't see.
okay,
Can't see.
well, she probably won't be able to see this. Should we do it out here? Should we do it out here? That's good. Okay, good, okay. All right, so let's go back. All right, so Robin's got her hands there. Okay, I come up with the palm of my hand, right there, right on top. Okay, I make a fist with my free hand. I go up from where this is, from where this level is, to the top of her shoulders. I divide that in half, and I put my fist there. So I've got one hand here, my fist here. Okay, can you see that? Okay. All right, so once you get in position, follow me. Okay?
What is it behind in the back? In the middle?
Right on her spine.
Halfway between.
And if you can,
Back
bring
is
your
down the middle,
arms
so you're gonna be
back.
somewhere right between the shoulder blades.
If you can, bring your arms back like this, so that they are covered as much as they possibly can.
Straight back through there, right
Okay,
about there.
like this. That's good. That's good. Okay? All right, so we've got everyone in place? Everyone in place? Okay? There we go.
Okay.
Now, here's what we're going to do. We've got 3 steps to the meditation. When we're doing it by ourselves, you're the only one in that scenario. Now we've got 2 people. So she's going to put me in her 3 steps with her. I'm going to put her in my 3 steps, so we work together on this. The goal is to let God do the work. We don't care what happens through this. It's up to God. We're not trying to do anything ourselves. They may have an ache or pain, they may have something else, some financial issue, whatever it is, we don't care. Our goal is to work with them, wish the best for them, let God take over. That's the power of this technique. Am I being clear? our goal is just let it work. That's it. Okay? Sandra, would you mind taking us through the 3 steps again, please? Okay?
Okay, you're standing on a
Ruthie,
platform.
excuse me one second. Ruthie, do you want to come over
No,
now?
I'm good.
You're
I don't
good?
wanna walk
Oh,
around.
okay, okay.
Thank you.
You're standing on a platform in the center of a large surrounding sphere. Expand the sphere until it is so large you relax.
And this is now for both of us.
Yes. You are still in the center of the sphere. Within your body are the hands of God holding all the poisons comprising the weeds and roots of your resistances. God's hands now retract from you fully, holding all the weeds and roots of these resistances. He's removing anything that has held you back. You now imagine and give permission for God to move far enough away while he's still holding on to the poison until the physical separation is so large you relax again. Now you proceed to spray yourself with Q liquid. Using large fire hose, remember you're referring to your Q statement. While you're doing this, there are 4 large buckets. They're being filled with your Q liquid. The buckets of health, wealth, relationships, and time are overflowing. You spray yourself, you're filling up all the spaces within your body where those weeds and roots and negative stories were. Filling yourself so full that the Q liquid escapes from your pores and you are surrounded with a bright light. Continue spraying yourself with the Q liquid, seeing yourself smile, see yourself nod your head, yes, and watch yourself both open and close your mouth, saying yes to you. See all these 3 things in your imagination. Finish by reminding yourself that you are doing items from your Q statement, those specific items from that statement. You have completed all 3 parts of this meditation, and you have the freedom to manifest strongly what you want from now on. This is yours. Finishing with gratitude, knowing this is true for you. Receive your gift of becoming who you really are. Thanking our source. Thank you, thank you, thank you. come back to this room when you are ready.
I don't know what to expect, so what do you think? Was there any difference between what you just did versus the first time you did yourself?
I felt a little more energy in my hands. I don't know why on my feet.
I was quickly able,
Just a minute, guys, just a minute. What?
I was quickly able to get to that state together versus by myself,
Very good.
to clear easy.
Good. Anyone else? Anyone else experience that?
It's like the hands of God.
Was there more energy that you felt?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I felt like even though I was really concentrating on meditating, I was still holding myself very tensely, like in my shoulders and then in my back and everything, all the way down to my feet. I was kind of putting tension the whole time, and then the longer it came, the more I felt I remembered. It felt like I was remembering to relax, and by the end of it, I was completely limp like a little baby.
Very good, very good. Anyone else? See, I'm not sure what to expect, Becky. Did you have anything to add?
Well, I was standing, so I probably should have been seated, but definitely having Dr. Scott kind of hold me there, I was like, oh wait, I don't have to just be so stiff. So I got a little wobbly there towards the end, but it just feels so comforting, really. Like you're not doing it alone, really.
Okay. Not doing it alone.
Yeah.
You got it. We're not doing this alone. We can't do this alone. We need each other.
My hands actually felt hot.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, I did experience that too. Very good. So you now have a new technique which you can use on anyone, including your dog, to start releasing them, because it's not up to you, it's up to God. All you're doing is you're just facilitating. They're helping you, you're helping them. It's that simple. Yeah.
Do you feel like the energy goes both ways and it doesn't matter whether you're the one like this or the one holding it, or just
Not going to matter. It won't matter. Okay. What I found, though, was important for the position of the hands to really activate that energy. Because, like I said, we're activating 5 different meridians in the front and the most powerful one in the back by being on the spine. So we're doing a lot of work very easily, very fast. Again, all you have to do is ask God, what can we do to really amplify this technique and gives me this information? So we just tested it out for the first time. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. You guys did very well tonight. I hope you understand you did very well. Good work. How about if we finish this by forming a continuous chain?